We have everything we need on this planet, have been provided with everything we need on this planet to live and survive and have enough for all. But we're told, no, there's not enough for all. And we need to go kill and maim and destroy those people over there and take what they have so we'll have enough. And it's just a broken model that is that the people of the future are not going to hang on to anymore. It's going to be interesting to see what happens over the next 10, 20, 30 years if we make it that long when some of these, you know, elite fat cows start dying off and their children and start taking over. I think I have a lot of hope for the next generation of people that's coming over, because it's going to either get real bad or a lot better. But I don't think the status quo is going to stay the same as it has over the last 100 years. I think we're going to start to see a major shift, and there's going to be a major shift in this stuff, whether they like it or not. That's what the age of revealing is all about, and that's exactly where we are right now. We are in the age of revealing, where all will be revealed. Good, bad, ugly, it doesn't matter. The facades of the past years will now come melting away, and everything will be exposed for everyone to see, and this is where the new order will be created out of. So the question is, are we going to be the creators of the new order, or are we going to be the followers of it? I don't think it's a very hard choice to decide which side you'd want to be on as far as that goes. Do we want to step up to the plate, put aside what people think about us, put aside all these worries of being judged by our friends and our family or whoever else for speaking our minds, speaking our hearts, and standing up for what we believe in? Or are we just going to remain, spectators in all this? And all it requires of you to become a participant and not a spectator is just to become someone who is not afraid to stand up and say what they believe on these issues and get into people's comfortable little worlds and shake them up a little bit. That's the biggest thing. People just need their comfortable little world shaken up. What we're all trying to do, man, the whole big thing is to not let them overcome you with their fear and their response that they want you to have. That's the big thing. If we can maintain our balance in all of this, and we can find ways to adapt to these new coming world changes, and find ways to adapt and evolve and survive inside of it without succumbing and being overwhelmed by fear, then we will survive and we will have the kind of world that we all want to live in. But if we succumb to the fear and we allow ourselves to be manipulated the way we've been manipulated up to this point, the powers that be telling us that, though, this person over here is the threat, or this country over here is the threat, and now the way it's looking in the future, this planet over here is the threat, or this star system over here is a threat, or this group of extraterrestrials over here is the threat. You see, it's always some outside threat that we have to arm ourselves against and protect, because, of course, making peace with all peoples of all countries and planets and universes is, I guess, a far-fetched idea that nobody wants to engage in. It's very easy when you start to find out about the New World Order and the Illuminati and the Central European bankers and the priest class and the secret societies. It's very easy to get into a frame of mind and a mindset where, because you have all these different groups and all this knowledge on all these different groups and what they're doing, what they have done, it's very easy to have a permanent scapegoat for everything. And I think that's just as dangerous as not having any information or knowing anything about the world around you. You know? Because if we just continue to, every time something shakes us up or something of importance happens, if we just say, yeah, well, it's those damn bankers, or, well, yeah, it's a damn New World Order, or that's that damn, Illuminati, or that's the damn priest class. Well, see, then we just say, okay, well, now that we have that information, we didn't have that before, but now that we know about all this information, well, it just seems that we have a scapegoat and an easy thing to blame for everything that happens. That's a dangerous road we don't want to go down. We don't want to find ourselves constantly assigning the blame for all this stuff to whatever shadowy New World Order group is hot to talk about that week. And instead, we need to understand that the only reason this stuff happens is because we continue to allow it to happen. I'm just trying to every day get up here, and every day and everything that I do in my work and in my films and on this show, every day I'm just trying to give us a somewhat of a chance. Because the way they're playing this stuff out right now, they're not really factoring in what those of us who have a different view on this stuff than everybody else does thinks. And so you either fall in the category of you are with the government or you are with the people that are against this stuff, the truth movement, the teabaggers, the rest of it. And that's why I want to continue to make sure that everybody out there knows. And, hopefully I think at this point with the Seeker Right 1 and 2, people pretty much know where I stand. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that I'm not on the side of any of these entities. I'm not on the side of the federal government. I'm not on the side of the patriots and the truthers and the teabaggers and the armed conflict militia guys. I'm not on those sides. I'm on the side of humanity. I'm on the side of survival. I don't want anything to do with their divide and conquer Civil War scenarios. They're going to come out, but that's what they want to do. They want to try and pin all of us who have been asking questions as extremists and as people who want to overthrow the federal government. And I don't want to overthrow the federal government. And not only that, I wouldn't have to if I wanted to, because they're overthrowing this and doing it themselves. So, that's another retarded statement. Oh, yeah, we want to overthrow the government. Or anybody that would ever say to you, yeah, well, I believe we should overthrow the federal government. That's what we should do. You're an idiot. You haven't been paying attention. Come here, let me smack your skull for you. You hadn't paid attention. We've been in a slow motion overthrow for a great many years now. The overthrow of America is happening in slow motion. And, so this still clinging to some idea of your country or your homeland is another flawed model and a flawed way of thinking. Until you can detach yourself from your attachment to your quote-unquote homeland or your quote-unquote country and believe that your country or where you're from or what country from you're from defines you, until you can separate from that, they've still got you. You understand? Because you're still identifying yourself with a construct they created. Well, I'm an American and I have these rights, or I have these. No. I'm a Briton, or I'm Australian. No. You're human. You're a citizen of humanity. You're a sovereign citizen of humanity. Your country or the land or the border or whatever you were in or the flag you were born under doesn't define you. It doesn't own you. Although technically that could be debated when you really look down to it. Yeah, I mean, we're all owned at birth. But what I'm saying is, everybody that says, well, we got to do this, we got to do this, we got to stand up for our country, we got to take our country back. You can't take back something that never belonged to you in the first place. This country never belonged to you or I or any of the rest of us. In fact, the only people that should be even have the right to say we need to take our country back should be the people that were here before us, the natives, but even they don't own the earth. No one can own the earth. But they think they can, and that will be their undoing. So that, to me, is one of the biggest things that's keeping people attached to all this is still this identification with a country. Well, we could take our country back. That's what we need to do. No, you need to let go of that. You need to worry about how we're going to take our species back. And take ownership of our species, of ourselves for the first time, instead of allowing ourselves to be born into indentured servitude and allowing this to continue and continue. That's one of the key issues of this whole thing. They restrict the knowledge. They restrict us from knowing the real truth. They create the intelligence communities. They create religions, the priest class, the intelligentsia, all this stuff to conceal from us the real truth. Then give us this phony, fake idea about what life really is and how it's supposed to be lived, and they just keep us in a constant state of indentured servitude, and we never learn what they learn, which is how to ascend into other realms once you leave and shuffle off this mortal coil and not be forced to reincarnate back down here again in the endless cycles. They keep that for themselves. Well, before it's all said and done, we're all going to have this power. Wouldn't it be great if we all just one day learned how to ascend? And then when we all died, we didn't come back down here? And the people just stopped being born? Except for the elites. They just keep multiplying their bloodlines again, but then there wouldn't be any slaves born anymore. Imagine that. We all ascend to a high other level, and they're left down here ruling over nothing and nobody. You want to talk about dreams? That's my dream.